Hey everyone, welcome back to How to Be a Poser. Today we're going to slice and dice our enemies and devour them like a freshly fried batch of chimichangas. To do that, we'll be using the Venompool 6-scale figure by Hot Toys from Marvel Contest of Champions. Let's get started. Alright, here it is, the Venompool 6-scale figure by Hot Toys. Still in his box, exactly the way that he's going to come to you, and he is massive. Comes with some upscaled versions of Deadpool's signature weapons, a giant cell phone, swap out eyes, interchangeable hands, and even some cool Venom effects, including these interchangeable tongues. Can't wait to see what I can do with all this weirdness, so let's get rolling. Alright, here he is, out of the box. Ready to go. Venompool's looking really menacing and he's massive. Look at the size of this guy. I mean, he's just huge. Hulk size, I would say, similar to the Hot Toys Hulk figures in scale. I think the first thing we're going to do is dress this guy up, and to that end we're going to do a couple things. First, we're going to need these swords. We're going to need these Symbiote Tendrils. Let's call them Tendrils because they flex. Look at that. Man, they just go all over the place. That's just fun. There are two pieces on the back here. You just need to get your thumb in there and pull those bad boys out. Tiny little guys, and they're squirrely too. So I had one try to run away on me once. It's a true story. And once you get those things out, it reveals two keyholes. Two. You can see that they are not completely round. There is a flat spot on the inside of each keyhole, inside towards Venompool's spine. Now, that corresponds with these flat spots here on these tendrils. So I think that my shorter one is going to go on this side. And for that you'll need these splooches. You can see also that they have similar keys in the splooches. You want to align those flat spots on the tendrils and just push them all the way through. And I can see here in doing so that I've grabbed the wrong splooch for this particular tendril. You see how they do not align? If I had the right splooch, that being this one, then once you've pushed it all the way through, all the lines and grooves in the splooch will align with those in the tendril and you'll be good to go. Now, once that happens, you can just further align that flat spot with flat spot on your back in the keyhole and shove it in as hard as you can, and it'll go all the way in and those splooch spots will spread. Then, once you've had that happen, then you can just go ahead and go crazy with twisting and turning this symbiote tendril of his until it achieves something that looks menacing and maybe even a little bit aesthetically pleasing, and that it's going to draw your eye more towards Deadpool when you get it turned around. Venompool. I've got to stop saying Deadpool. This isn't Deadpool anymore, fool. We are Venompool. And I'm just going to go ahead and start bending him right now because I don't want to have him fall backwards. So maybe that's something you'd want to take into account too. So let's shove that guy onto his back, push it in all the way so that those splooch spines spread. That's some consonants for you right there. And then I'm going to move it over this way a bit, and I'll show you why right now. I'm going to bring in Deadpool's Katanas. So if you really want to get Deadpool's Katanas installed properly, then you need to take into account that it may collide with these spines and to put these tendrils in the back. There's a key right there and a keyhole corresponding to it on the back there. So I'm just going to bring this around so that I can get a better line of sight onto it. If you want to have the tendrils and the Katanas on at the same time, you have to keep pushing over on this part of the harness to get it to move a little bit further right. And then once you've done that, Bob's your uncle and it'll slide home. There you go. All right, now he's looking menacing. Now he's looking badass. So let's play with this, because when I spin it around, see how when I spin him around here, you've got both tendrils going over to this side. So I really want to correct that and have some symmetry going on. Some chaotic symmetry, as it were. So I'm just going to bend this tendril back this way and out over his shoulder, and then just kind of make gradual bends as I bend it back inward. I don't want any straight lines if I can avoid it, so I just want to try to get at least a little bit of a bend in every part of the structure of each tentacle. The reason for that is that I don't think you could find a Venom symbiote tendril form in a straight line in any comic book panel, or in this case, video game. But maybe I'm wrong, and if I am, I would just love to see images of it. That'd be cool. I mean, I know that sometimes he uses it as spikes, and then maybe so, but when they're just kind of hanging around, like that. There's just always a fluidity to them. One of the things that I noticed when looking at this earlier is that there is a slight angle cut where the tongues are cut here. So if you held it flat up against the surface, you can see that it's going down. That indicates where the downward portion of the tongue will be. So I'm just gonna shove this bad boy home. And that's kind of cool, but I think that for what I have in mind, this one's gonna be better. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be better. Oh, what's that you say? What do you have in mind? Well, I'll tell you. There's a bit in the game where he's getting ready to finish his opponent, knock him out, where he puts his opponent on hold, so to speak, while he takes a call. So we're gonna use this cell phone in this hand, which is the relaxed hand that comes with the figure. Like this, bring this up, bend this up. I'm just pre-posing the hand and kind of getting his head looking down. There we go, you can hear that satisfying pop of the ratcheted joints. That's an indication of quality. Yeah, all right. Got that phone in his hand, looking good. We're gonna swap his hand out. That popped off relatively easily. Very satisfying. Okay, just kind of get that ball joint into the hand and just slowly rock it and gently apply pressure, going back and forth until it gets all the way on there. Now, after you get that done, just go ahead and rotate this hand up. And I think that's just about got it. I'm just gonna twist it. Also rotate him and rotate his torso just a little bit this way and maybe even somewhat more away from the opponent. And try to get that hand in a position where I think it should be. Straighten that leg out a little bit, bend that leg a little bit more, because we're trying to get some balance going on here. And this is a different sort of body to work with. It's kind of tough to get this thing to stand on its own straight-legged, so you're gonna have to get at least a slight bend of the knees just to get him to have balance. Another thing you have to note is the gap between the deltoids and the traps there. There's a bit of movement that goes on in and out of the shoulder that will help you to fill that gap up like I did just there. You can come over here and kind of do the same thing with this side. Let's go ahead and raise this out just a touch and bring that back in. It looks much more natural. I'm gonna try to bring this part of his torso back a little bit, I think it will, and also bend him a little bit more forward. Give him a little bit more of that Venom hunch. Yeah, that's got it. All right. Hold, please. Awesome. Venom and Deadpool are clearly the two great tastes that go great together, so it's a wonder we haven't seen the combination more often. Be that as it may, the creators of Marvel Contest of Champions have done so in a very memorable way. The design is just beautiful, and hideous, and hilarious. All these things combined. On the shelf, it has great presence and definitely makes of itself a centerpiece.
Did you enjoy that video? Be sure to subscribe by hitting the S icon on your screen and click the bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under product info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.